Hello, loveliest and wonderful folks, and welcome to the Lake George Sessions. This is a mini-series run by the Soundweavers Podcast, as we explore the people and the music behind the Lake George Music Festival, now in its 15th year. In this episode, you'll hear an interview with CEO and co-founder Alex Lombard, and throughout you'll be hearing music from the festival over the years. We hope you enjoy. Hello, loveliest and wonderful gentlefolk, and welcome to the Lake George Sessions. This is a little subsect of the Soundweavers Podcast where we discuss all things to do with the Lake George Music Festival. Those of you who have been with us for a long time know that this festival is my happy place. So many of our artists have come through Lake George as well, and we're really happy to be in residence here this year. For one of our interviews, it's actually the first interview that I'm doing live at the festival, we have our CEO and a delightful human being, Alex Lombard. So Alex, thank you for joining us on a rainy Monday morning.
Oh,
it's raining in Lake George today.
It's raining, yes, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you.
So let's get started with, can you talk just about where the festival came from? We're in our 15th year now, so we'll get to where we are now, but can you talk about the humble beginnings, where did it start, and what did you want to do originally?
Well, my two co-founders, Barbara and Roger, when we were in undergrad, I mean, as you know, this is what musicians do. We make our annual pilgrimage from wherever you are in a concert hall or in a major city or school or orchestra. You make your pilgrimage to a summer music festival somewhere. So we, between Barbara and Roger and I, we went to all the major ones, probably between the three of us, a dozen music festivals. We met so many great people, made so many great connections. I mean, I met Barbara at Bowdoin. So me being from Lake George, which at the time, 15 years ago, did not have a classical music festival, which I thought was wild. What a great opportunity.
Place, yeah.
And I've always been a little bit of an entrepreneur. And yeah, we decided to roll with it. This was August 2011. It's 15 years ago. And it's grown tremendously since then. We started very humbly. It was 3 days, 30 musicians, at a $0 budget.
Paying people in pizza and beer?
That's right. But we had great host families putting people up. And everyone was super enthused just to be able to get something going with us. I think everyone shared that entrepreneurial spirit. And what a great season that first season was. We had so many people writing letters to the editor in the newspaper, like, this is the greatest thing ever for Lake George. And just watching the orchestra, we were all in our early 20s at the time, and everyone was smiling while they're playing Mozart Symphony. Those are our beginnings.
And where are we now? So this, as I said, this is our 15th season. This is 10 years since I first started coming. So it's 10 years since you realized you really needed a harp in your ranks. But what has changed? And what do you also hope will continue to change as you go forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. 15 years seems like a long time in our lifetime, but I think we're just getting started here. 15 years, I'm already looking to 40 or 50 years. Where are we now? We started, it was just 3 days. We were playing in churches. Second year, third year, we evolved and playing at the high school auditorium.
Was that your high school as well? Was that the high school you went to?
No, not me personally. I was the next town over.
Okay.
But it was a great space. We were very grateful to have all these venues to help us get our feet off the ground. But here, 15 years later, we're in this beautiful venue called the Carriage House. It's overlooking the lake, and there was a lot of.
We will share photos on social media.
It's gorgeous, yeah. Anytime you can view the most beautiful lake in the country while listening to the best musicians in the country, that's incredible. Yeah, but we started very small, worked our way up here. Like I said, we're just getting started. We already have big plans for the next big steps for Lake George.
So talking of the Carriage House, that was fully refurbed, was that 2 years ago?
This is our, well, believe it or not, this is our 4th year here. The first year was the original state.
Yes.
It was in sad shape. 2021.
It was quite black.
Right.
It was very dark.
And I believe 2022 was also pre-remodel.
Yeah.
We don't own this space. The Fort William Henry Hotel owns this space, which in itself is a major destination, has been for over 100 years. This space, the carriage house, was a place for carriage, like horse and buggies back in the 1800s.
And now we have percussion and piano and
That's
hops.
right. Now we get to see this great music here. But it used to be, the locals called it the garage. And it sat idle for almost 6-7 decades. It was just used to store boxes and gym equipment.
So they had this great space and they just didn't utilize it.
Didn't really use it for anything. And so music festival, I said, well, we can't let that happen. We have to do something. So we did 2 years here, unrenovated. It worked out great. And I think the hotel saw that, okay, there is an opportunity here to do. We can't just let that beautiful piece of real estate sit there. The hotel invested somewhere around $3 million. And it's absolutely beautiful now. It's used not just for the music festival, but throughout the year they have weddings. And
it's a beautiful. I remember walking in for the first time a couple of years ago when it had been refurbed and going, "Oh, this is gorgeous!"
Yes, that's right.
It's very, it's lovely and it's wonderful getting to perform with all of the windows. So again, there will be photos of this on social media, I promise you, dear listeners. But playing this brilliant music, and then you see the lake outside, you see when the heavens open and there's thunderstorms during concerts, which happened every single time I played last summer. I made it rain. I am so sorry. But yeah, it's a good design, and I think it works exceptionally well.
It's an intimate space. One thing I love about Lake George Music Festival is you don't just get to see these musicians.
Yeah.
You get to rub elbows with them. You get to meet with them and talk to them and kind of be part of that whole artistic experience through our receptions. And that's rare. You don't always get to see that, especially at some of the bigger halls. And our audience really enjoys that.
So obviously Lake George, one of the reasons we initially interviewed you all is this is a chamber music festival, but then it's got orchestra at the very end of it. So
I do, yeah.
What was your thinking in starting this off as a primarily chamber music festival over, say, somewhere like Aspen, where they really do focus on the orchestral performance side?
Well, one of my co-founders, Roger.
Yes, I mean, he needed an orchestra.
He's a conductor, yes.
Yes, yeah. There had to be orchestra of some descript, or this would not work.
Yeah, Roger is our co-founder and conductor, and he was not my roommate in college, by the way. Some people think that, but we met in college. We went to Aspen together. I was a piano fellow. He was a conducting fellow, and I don't think you can have a festival like this when people are not, at least at one point, playing all together.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what we do.
It's a good camaraderie thing.
Exactly, yes. So some years, well, this year, for example, all the wind players are playing opening night together.
Yes.
Winds and brass, and all the string players are playing one piece opening night. Some years we'll have full orchestra opening night. It's a great great stage to all get together for the first time.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks of chamber music every night, and then one big grand finale symphony orchestra. And I think you have to have both. I'm glad Roger's a part of it too. That we have both.
Yes, and also he's very charismatic. He's very good with the audience.
He's excellent.
So obviously this is a summer festival, but you work on Lake George throughout the year. So this is one of the things with these interviews I want to explore is what the musicians do throughout the year before we come to our happy place, but also what do you do behind the scenes? Because obviously this isn't just 2 weeks per year, this is a full-time gig for you. And sort of what does that entail?
Barbara, Roger, and I work year-round. I'm full-time. So for me, it's a lot of advocacy for the arts in Lake George. Lake George hasn't really had a major arts presence, not since we started 15 years ago.
Yeah. But it used to be. I mean,
it used to be.
Yeah, you talk about the Sembrook, which is just down the road from here, and Georgia O'Keeffe was here, I believe, at some point. And
that was a while. That was well over 100
years.
Yes,
very, very long time ago. But there's that history, but then
That's
it seems to have had a gap.
So for me, it's at this point, I'm thinking about what am I going to do right after this festival. It's advocacy. Proving to people how successful we have been and looking forward to the future for Lake George in terms of having it be a true destination for arts and culture. That's always what I'm thinking about. A lot of that, advocacy, fundraising, grant writing.
Oh, grant writing.
And thinking
my least favorite thing to do.
That's certainly part of it. But also thinking about the fun things too. What are we going to program? What musicians are going to be invited. We look forward to application season every year. This year we had hundreds and hundreds of applicants for not that many spaces. And seeing that is very exciting. Advocating for arts in Lake George, but also for our roster. We work certainly year round. Yeah.
So how much do you have to do with the programming, or is that mainly Barbara's baby?
That's nearly 100% Barbara, and which I think she does a fantastic job.
It must be so many moving pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine.
Barbara does the chamber music programming, invites a lot of musicians, organizes the roster, really puts that orchestra together, orchestra seating, and the master rehearsal schedule. Everything is ironed out in Lake George before people arrive. We don't have the luxury here of yet, at least, this grand performing arts campus, the center. We're using a lot of...
That would be great. One day. It's coming.
It's
this
coming.
is why you do the grant writing.
That's right. That and in advocacy, trying to explain to people in Lake George that our existence right now, our moment of time is just... It's
coming. It's just starting.
Yeah, communities evolve, especially when they're given the right opportunities for support. So what's next for Lake George? Barbara does this amazing schedule too, which is a huge amount of work. So all the rehearsals, everything is all ironed out ahead of time. So we want musicians just to come here and reset.
Yeah.
Why do you come to Lake George Music Festival? It's a great networking opportunity, but you're here to reset and kind of rediscover why you discovered music in the first place.
So I always used to refer to this at this festival as a musician's retreat.
Artist retreat.
For sort of older students in school and then sort of young professionals. I know we've slightly morphed it over the last few years, but I do still think even now it's still an artist retreat for both professionals and students, which
it's a great mix.
Yeah.
There's people that are college faculty, professional orchestra players. Chuck is here from Cleveland.
We've got people from the Cleveland Orchestra.
Cleveland,
You've had people from all over. It's Buffalo Phil with Josh.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have people that are on major management that are professionally represented, and some people that are undergrads.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter where you're from, or what stage of your career you're in. Everyone is welcome here, as long as you're here for the same reason.
Yes.
The reason is to make music with like-minded peers, and to all that stress of the professional world. Just let it evaporate and focus on yourself and your colleagues and your music.
So going back to, you mentioned host families. I am staying for the second year in a row with the McCullers, who are amazing. They're wonderful and brilliant. When we got in yesterday, they offered us drinks and cake. It was great fun. Can you talk about the community in general? Obviously, starting from the fact that we have host families, which has sort of waxed and waned a little bit because of COVID, but the support that they bring, and then just the larger community and how they have impacted Lake George. Most
of our musicians, over half, are housed in the region with host families. We could not do this without them, right? Lake George is a tourist destination. There's a lot of hotels here, very expensive. So
especially in the summer, all parts of the summer. I'm sure it's great in December and January.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we shifted from August to June. It's a little more affordable for audience too. But a lot of people stay with these host families, and it's great for a lot of reasons. It makes us feel like family. They're part of the family. And they're here at all the concerts. It's really a great built-in audience, really a way to network and connect yourself to the community. And we have a great guild of volunteers, a lot of people that really love Lake George.
So how did you find these people? Was with some of them just contacts you knew from growing up here and your family
Sometimes,
knew,
yeah.
and some just people who send cold calls to saying, come watch a concert. So how did you get in touch with everyone?
It's really a mixture. Our original concerts, as you remember, were all at churches.
Yes.
And I think any new festival or performing arts series that wants to come to a town where there's no performing arts center, that's kind of where you're going to perform.
Yeah.
These churches. But that's a great built-in audience. All these church members from the Catholic Church, Episcopal, Methodist,
Of course, because
Presbyterian.
they're going to advertise to the congregation.
People see what is going on in my church this weekend. I have to go see that. That was a huge unknown boost. The music festival that's thousands of people that we were advertised to. It didn't cost us any money. And then from there, that's where I found a lot of host families. We found a lot of audience. It's a great way to start.
Talking of venues, we were talking about the Carriage House, but we do also go out and perform Lake George Uncorked.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that event? Because it's always super fun for the musicians and for the audience,
right.
I think.
It's one of their only, quote, off-campus events. It's our gala. We call it LGMF Uncorked. And yeah, there's a fundraising element to it. It all goes to, the money raised goes to support our musicians. But I think of it more of as a celebration of this fusion between music, food, two things people love. So,
music, food, maybe some wine.
Lots of wine, yes. And another beautiful space. This is just an absolutely gorgeous lakefront private club. It's pretty exclusive. A lot of people come just not only for the great music and food, but because they want to be in this beautiful space, the Lake George Club.
Lovely space.
It's great. You can have your, quote, on the pedestal classical music events, chamber music orchestra, but it's good to maybe play in an unconventional venue, have dinner, dessert, wine tastings, things to go with it.
This festival is really good for all of the musicians talking to our audience members, but the Uncorked events, it breaks down the barriers even more because we all go and have dinner with, especially the performers, will go and have dinner with some of the audience members, and they'll ask about what we're up to, and it's a great way for them to put sort of names and personalities to what they're seeing on stage.
Again, it goes back to rubbing elbows with these musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it's like. How many concerts have you been to at the great halls of the world, and where you need binocular vision to see? And of course, it's great to experience that as well. But I just think Lake George is a special place because you're in these intimate venues.
So let's talk about the Composers Institute.
Well, Alyssa is the founding director of our Composers Institute, which is now in its 6th season. I'll let her take the lead on that conversation, how it came to fruition, but I'll just say that she is absolutely killing it.
Oh, yeah.
That Composers Institute it gets more recognition and more support each and every year. The number of applicants we get to that program and the way, it's just everything about it is just, we're just really honored to have her involved and to watch that separate but very much a part of Lake George Music Festival, watching that program grow and develop over these past 6 years.
So you mentioned that you always commission, and you always have commissioned. It's so
every year, yes.
DJ in my first year was one of your resident conductors. How did that grow from just having some commissions, just having some composers that having competition, which I know you all always had?
Yes,
How did that grow into Alyssa then becoming the director and actually having a separate institute.
Yeah. We wanted something more consistent and more permanent. That's I think where the Composer Institute came from. So I'll just share Alyssa's story. She's probably been coming to Lake George as long as you have.
I think she started maybe a year after me.
Something like that. It's been a while. I mean, it's pushing 10 years, I think. Alyssa started just as, okay, we're going to present one of your pieces. Do you want to come and attend a rehearsal and the concert? Sure, come for 3 days. We've had dozens of composers over the years, probably several dozen at this point, coming just 2 or 3 days. We do a lot of world premieres. We've done a lot of commissions. Almost every year we'll have at least one commission, one world premiere. Chamber music, orchestra. A good 50% of our programming is new.
Yeah, which I think is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. With the Institute, we wanted to have a more structured, permanent anchor as part of the festival.
Yeah.
So that Composers Institute has Alyssa as director, 2 guest composers, and then 10 resident composers that are writing one piece for the festival.
So going more into that, you do now have Rhythm Method as the string quartet in residence. How did they get involved in this? Was that through yourself? Was that through Alyssa?
Yeah, I think it was through both of us, certainly possibly through Alyssa. The Rhythm Method has been involved since day one, so all 6 years. We were looking for a group that, they're the rock stars when it comes to string quartet. And new music string quartet. I can't think of a better ensemble. So these musicians, these composers, they write specifically for that quartet. So they know this group. They've been a fixture here in Lake George for 6 years now.
And that's great for the students because they also get to write on their resumes. Has had something premiered by Rhythm Method. So it's sort of it's a nice combination. Mm-hmm. Combination for both sides.
For I'm sure Alyssa will chat about this too, but for young composers, that's what they really need. Yes. They need to have a piece workshop by a professional group like the Rhythm Method, but also having it be professionally recorded.
Oh, absolutely. When some of these groups go to schools, they'll do a reading of some of these composers' pieces, and there will be a recording, but it's not as much. They don't get as much time and energy as Rhythm Method are able to put into these pieces and give a fantastic concert of as well.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they're the rock stars in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So looking forward, can you give us any tidbits of what more do you want to see from the festival? So
we're at 15 years. Where are we going to be at 30 years?
Yes.
Or 50? The lake itself is an anchor. It's an anchor for our local residents. It makes people want to live here and move here. And it will always be an anchor, like a permanent draw for the area. Lake George still needs an anchor that mirrors that beauty. Lake George is one of the most heavily protected, most beautiful, cleanest lakes anywhere in the country. Our drinking water comes right from the lake. Very clean, beautiful. And that's not going anywhere. It's been here for tens of thousands of years. Yes. Lake George Village needs another anchor. So what we're just starting now, it's in its infancy. I'm putting together a committee of local residents, tourism stakeholders, people, business owners. I'd like to see in 15 years to have a true cultural campus in Lake George. Oh, great. So not kind of like Chautauqua. I would love to see something like that. Yeah. So let's see if I can put this image in your brain here. So a huge estate, a huge campus. I don't know how many acres this would be. 30 acres. A big 2,500 seat amphitheater that could be used year round, but would also you could open up to outside lawn seating for summertime. But also places for artists to have meals, rehearsal space, practice rooms, art galleries, and for the local community too, community gardens, places for school groups and educational programs, and not just classical music. So poetry and theater and beautiful. Art. And, We'd love to see that. And not just, the Lake George Music Festival would, of course, be the anchor. Lake George also has a great jazz festival in September. I did not know that. It's fantastic, yeah. It's because I'm never here in September. World class, been around for 40 years, longer than we have. Having all of this under one cohesive umbrella, there's so much you could do. Absolutely. Classical, jazz, but you could have, popular music, you could have opera. Lake George used to have a great opera festival. They've since moved on to a nearby town, but they were around for, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, almost 40 years.
Yeah, because we had, is it Saratoga Springs Opera? We had some of their fellows come up for a couple of years.
That's the group, the Opera Saratoga. I'd love to see them come back permanently.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
They just need the space. One of the reasons they moved on was there's just no space. There's no performing arts
of course,
venue suitable for opera in Lake George. Our neighboring town, Glens Falls, is a great professional orchestra in a small town, and they play at a local high school auditorium. It's a beautiful space, but
it would be nice for them to have a venue.
I just wonder if our local county here, Warren County, in my hometown, Lake George, could have a one umbrella, one roof for all these local groups, but also bring in, look at what they're doing in Vail, like Bravo Vail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have major orchestras from around the world do a residency for a period of time every summer.
We've got the National Symphonies come over from Dublin.
There you go. There's so many opportunities, and I think the Lake George community is hungry for it.
Yeah.
They've been hungry for it for 80 years. And there are pushes. There have been pushes for something like this since back in the 1960s. We just really never had the space to do it. There's a couple properties that are for sale right now. I'm really trying to forge ahead with securing the property and fundraising and raising the support for these big projects. They're expensive.
Maybe by the 30th year?
Maybe by the 30th year.
Might be pushing it for the 20th.
I think raising the money, honestly, would be the easy part.
Yes.
Having a vision is great, but aligning yourself with the people that can help you make it happen. Absolutely. And following through with it is the hard part. But there's a lot of great people involved with Lake George. A lot of, like I said, some of the best classical musicians anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. To have that as an anchor is a great start.
So just talking about generic things, not necessarily Lake George related, what is your, or not the festival related, what is your favorite thing about being from Lake George?
Oh, the environment. So Lake George is in this place called the Adirondack Park. People think of New York State as New York City. There's 6 million acres of, at least 2.5 million acres of public land in upstate New York called the Adirondack Park. It's all wilderness. It's all forested, beautiful mountains above 4,000 feet. So I like the environmental side of things. Boating on the lake, fishing, hiking.
You go skiing,
yes.
Skiing and I was trying to say snowboarding and it came out snowing, so that's good. Skiing and snowboarding, that's what I meant.
There's a lot of snow here in the winter.
Oh gosh, there is.
The lake is one of the first years in several years that it froze. People were driving vehicles out on the water.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So again, that's the lake and these mountains is a permanent draw and a permanent anchor here, and that's what drove me to the area. That's why I'm here still. And
music-wise, what is a piece of music or a couple of pieces of music that you really want to see us do here that we haven't done yet?
It would be great to do something with the local community, like Beethoven 9, something with chorus.
Yes.
Something that ties us in with people that live here locally that could be part of it. One thing, a little hint, there's a little insider info. Next year we're going to do 1812 with cannons. Actual, real cannons, minus the cannonball.
Yeah, well, good. We don't want to take out the mini ha-ha on the middle of the lake. No, it's a bad idea.
It's very fitting, though, because where we're standing right now, this was the site of a major...
This is a battleground, right?
It was the site of a major battle called the Siege of Fort William Henry in 1755, or 1757. Okay. It's a major battle between the French and the English.
That beef is still there.
The beef is still there. The French did win that battle.
Ah, what a shame.
But it was right here at the site of Fort William Henry. A lot of cannon fire here back in the day. So we are going to do 1812 with cannons, and we're going to expand the low brass section.
Oh, great.
With maybe some local players, like high school.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to do that for years, so that's on
and
the
it's
talk.
flashy, and it's fun, and it's a good piece. So.
We may, like we usually do, end our program with fireworks over the lake.
Yes. And now you have cannonballs and fireworks.
Yes, a lot of gunpowder that night.
Oh, good Lord, yes. So just to wrap this up, because I know I've been talking off your ear for not that far off an hour, just a wee little question about, silly little questions. We do question roulette at the end of these episodes.
Let's do it.
Pick 1, 2, or 3.
3.
What's the weirdest gig you've ever done in general, and what's the weirdest gig at Lake George?
The weirdest gig. I'm just thinking back when I was very young. I was just starting. It wasn't even a music gig. I worked in this bagel shop, and I was a pianist.
There was a bagel shop pianist?
No,
not as a pianist. That would.
I was a pianist, so I was very cautious of my fingers, but I didn't know how to slice bagels. I lasted one day at this place.
No.
I sliced my thumb wide open.
Oh, God, no. Mm-mm.
I'm going to stick to music.
Yeah, no, I think that's...
You got to stick to music, yeah. I'm not going to be slicing bagels.
Yes, no more slicing bagels for you. No.
Yeah. Here in Lake George, we had a couple really interesting programs. One was called Art Attacks. Were you ever part of that?
I was never part of it, unfortunately.
But it was just these impromptu flash mob type things.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You bring the music totally off the pedestal, right out to where the people are.
Yeah.
We did another really weird gig where it's called the late night concert. Remember those on the boat?
Oh yeah.
You definitely played.
I played on those. Yeah. Can we bring those back? I loved the late night.
Yeah, we have to bring that
ones.
back. Yeah. That was another thing that just fell to the wayside in 2020. But we got to bring that back, whether it's on one of the steamboats or at a local bar.
Just kind of make it into a session.
Yeah, a classical jam session. Yeah. Play what you like. Play something weird.
I'll play some trad. I can play some Irish trad, which see if anyone wants to join in. All right, and with that has brought us to the end of this episode with the wonderful, the one and only Alex Lombard, our CEO and one of the co-founders of the Lake George Music Festival. As always, I am your host, your hopping host, Rosanna Moore, and this is part of the Lake George sessions for the Soundweavers Podcast. And we will see you next episode. You have been listening to the Lake George Sessions, a mini-series from the Soundweavers Podcast. Soundweavers is brought to you by our editor, Evan Henry, our producer, Nicholas Yelanauskas, and me, your harping host, Rosanna Moore. During this episode, you heard snippets of Lake George Music Festival performing throughout the years. Full information of the pieces played can be found down in the show notes. The theme for Soundweavers was written by Evan Henry and performed by the Soundweavers founders. Want to know more about the podcast? You can find us at Soundweavers Cast on Instagram and Facebook and at our website at www.soundweaverscast.com. We'll see you next episode.